Whether you've clicked on this video knowing nothing about speedrunning zombies, are an expert on the Firebase speedrun, or are simply trying to improve your personal best time, my goal today is to teach you something new. Hi, my name's Earthomon, and I'm going to be going over my most recent world record, the Firebase Easter egg speedrun. First things first, there are a few things that you should know before you even start your speedruns. This run will be much easier if you have Aether Shroud, Ring of Fire, Melee, Stamina Up, and Deadshot Daiquiri all tier 5. The two best guns for this are either the Gallo or the M16, and I'll have my classes for each of these on screen here. I'd also recommend getting whichever gun you use to tier 5 as well for the extra damage. I ran my game in Japanese due to testing from Freckleston that says that it saves 0 to 2 seconds depending on which quotes you get. That being said, switching the language definitely isn't required, and I mainly did it because I thought it sounded cooler. A simple Google search should walk you through how to change your language if your version of the game allows it. I can't stress this enough, when you load up the game, do it by going into solo and not in a private game. If you go in a private game, all doors will be more expensive and you'll probably start calling me a cheater in the comments because my doors are cheaper than yours. With all of that out of the way, we can finally start the run. There are 6 zombies on round 1 that always spawn in the same spots. You need at least 4 headshots, 1 barrier rebuild, and the 100 under quick revive to be able to buy the door this round and quickly teleport to helipad. If you're too slow to teleport, some zombies will spawn in the first room and lose you around 15 seconds. If you don't get enough points on round 1, you can do round 2 and spawn with no real time loss, but I personally think the spawns are a bit more awkward. End round 2, hit the points under Tombstone, and run around this box for a couple of seconds after zombies spawn because it seems to help with getting faster spawns. Once you end round 3, go to the first generator and get 6 kills and activate the generator. If all goes well, you should end round 4 at the same time that the generator completes. If you got a double points during this lockdown and you have around 5,000 points, you can buy Stamina Up early with little risk of running out of points. Run to the second generator and kill 12 zombies, scanning the windows and generators like I do. Run to the final generator, activate it, and end round 5. Be sure that all of your zombies are close enough to be sucked up by the generators. If done correctly, round 5 should end at the same time as the generator finishes. Run out through Skybridge, teleport back to spawn, and activate Pack-a-Punch by jumping down to this balcony and running a bit past this bear rug. Once Pack-a-Punch activates, turn around, go through the teleporter, and go talk to Peck. Anytime you need to talk to Peck, you can potentially save time by running up to this bloodstain, proning, and interacting with him through the floor. You have around 15 seconds of free time here, so you can activate a trial or hitbox if it's open. If you're going to do this, be careful, because by the time you're down to 1 zombie on round 6, you have to have at least 1,000 points after buying stamina. Once you're done hitting box or trials, go to spawn and talk to Ravnoff as soon as he lets you. Kill all zombies but 1, buy Stamina Up, and then pick up the Keycard. At this point, you should have 2 Aether Shroud charges, but keep in mind that insta-kills don't give you any charge, so if you don't have it, that's probably why. Pick up this formula, then this one, then do a quick 180, move forward slightly, and you can shroud right through this wall. Using your super speed, grab the last vial, shroud again, and go start the mixing sequence. End around here, and if box is here, you can hit it. Grab and place the gas on the vent, and you've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds of free time to do trials or box and save 1 zombie on round 7. About halfway through either of these quotes, you can interact with Peck again. Here you have a little under 1 minute of free time to pick up the shovel, try for AK, and get points. Just remember to save the last zombie. At the end of Peck's quotes, you can pick up the Mimic Trap. For the Mimic step, I'm going to show you the fastest and riskiest route that I go for, and explain how I improvise if my luck isn't perfect. However, you're more than welcome to change up the strat to make it safer. When I do Mimic step, I first run the spawn to check Peck's room for Mimic spawns. It can only spawn in these 2 rooms. Once you find the Mimic, throw and activate the trap. Knife the Mimic 4 times on round 7 if you have melee tier 5, find and kill the zombie, and go place the Mimic in the data center. The round should end here. Once it does, use the Wonder Sphere to travel to Jug and find the Mimic there. This Mimic will take 4 melees on round 8, and then after you pick it up, you want to go to the motor pool area and kill all the zombies in the round there. We do this because motor pool gives the fastest spawns. After you've killed all the zombies, go put the Mimic in the data center. We then quickly hop down and grab the final Mimic in motor pool with 5 melees on round 9. This strategy only works in the best case scenario, and you only have a 1 in 6 chance of getting this perfect Mimic location RNG. If you ever go somewhere that you want your Mimic and it's not there, don't panic. Just go look at another of the 3 locations. Something to keep in mind is after you've found the Mimic in one of the 3 spots, it cannot spawn in that same location again, so there's no need to check it again. Also, you can use an Aether Shroud during this step to bring the Mimic back to the data center, but only try to use it when you have to run a long distance. The final thing to note about the Mimic step is that it is buggy. Occasionally, the Mimic will not spawn in any of the 3 locations when it should, or sometimes the trap will simply not work on the Mimic, or even the Mimic can spawn and disappear. There are 2 ways to minimize these bugs. The first is to try not to spawn any Mimics on round 7 before you pick up a trap, and the second way is to try not to run directly at possible Mimics on the ground, because if he pops up and you're on top of him and he has to push you out of the way, he'll be bugged and you won't be able to go into the trap. Once you have all 3 Mimics in, start thinning the round, and be ready to grab the keycard once Weaver finishes talking. If you have an Aether Shroud, you can try this clip here if you're comfortable. If not, you can just shroud down the stairs outside. Place the keycard here and wait up by the OPC while you try to end the round. Once the door opens and the portal spawns, you have about 25 seconds to kill, so end round 9 and hit a trial here if you want. At the end of the 25 seconds and after Weaver's quote, interact with Peck. At this point, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is that you've successfully gone as far as you can without the Reiki. The bad news is that this is your last chance to get the Reiki, or else you're going to be losing some major time. Once you interact with Peck, you have about 1 minute and 15 seconds to get Reiki through box, trials, or anything else. Try to save a zombie here as well on round 10, but if you need to end the round for points for Reiki, you can. When you have the Reiki, pick up the Aether meter from this locker, get this crystal, put it in this generator, take the Wonder Sphere, and start this lockdown. Fun fact, the lockdown ends once you kill the right number of dogs, so the faster you kill them, the faster you get out. Try to save a zombie here, but don't stress about it if you can't. It'll just make the next step a little more difficult. Grab the crystal once the lockdown ends, Aether Shroud here, put the crystal in, and run to the final crystal. Dig it up and wait for the canisters to spawn. You can tell which canister is the correct one because it won't have any black particles floating around on the inside of the canister, and will instead only have a white glow. Once you get the last crystal, place it in this generator and run up to the OPC quickly, and a man should start talking over the speaker. If you fail either of the last 2 crystals, you have to go another round and try again. From this point, switch to Ring of Fire, and you have a little under 2 minutes to buy a cruise missile, get your Ring of Fire, get as much armor as you can, and get a save zombie on round 11. Try to get as many points as possible, because if you can Pack-a-Punch Reiki twice and buy Deadshot for its bonus consecutive shot damage, you'll be saving some time. If you're dying for points, you can try to end the round here, but there's about a 50-50 chance that you'll get a defense round, and you can't interact with the satellite during a defense round, which is basically a reset. Fun fact, the quotes right before the satellite are the only quotes that speed up or slow down the run based on which character you have talking to you. Dr. Strauss is the fastest, Dr. Peck is 1 second slower, and General Carver is 7 seconds slower. Once your character is done talking, you can start the satellite step. Interact with the satellite step and take notes of how the yellow lights are arranged. Compare them to these pictures that were provided to me by Tremundo, and you'll be able to know what is the correct satellite without having to hover over them all. Select the satellite, kill your zombie, and Pack-a-Punch as many times as you can. If possible, buy Deadshot. Run back to the OPC and wait inside spamming the interact button. Calm your nerves during this minute-and-a-half cutscene because this boss fight is as hard as you make it. The fastest way to do the boss fight is to drop your ring of fire while shooting, use your cruise missile, and then shoot at his head after the missile. In my record, I actually aimed a bit too far to the right. If you aim a little bit further left, you can do about 2 times the damage that I did with my cruise missile, which could save a couple seconds in the boss fight. This is one of my favorite Easter egg speedruns ever, and I hope this video can help you out with your runs. It's got quite a bit of RNG, but it's nice that all of it is in the end of the run instead of forcing the runner to restart at the beginning every game. This is likely only the beginning of the How to Speedrun series, and if you want more of these, you can show your support by hitting the thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for world records and videos from me, and the Obey Undead channel so that you can be kept up to date with similar videos from me and the other creators on the team. Thanks for watching. Alright, give me a good crystal. No way.